Good morning. We're starting the next leg of the trip today. First, we're going to get a good breakfast. I think I'm going to head back down to the Rice Lake Family Restaurant. That place had a really good looking breakfast menu, so we'll check them out first. Well, that restaurant's really good. I think that's my favorite place to eat in town. So now I got about 2 hours until my shuttle gets here, so I'll just check back once I successfully get back up to the trailhead. I'll see you there. Here we are, just got dropped off. Starting the Tuscobia segment, the Tuscobia Trail. Continuing like this nice wide track and a little bit of road walking, I think, for like the next 12 or 13 miles, something like that. So the mosquitoes hopefully should be minimal. But the ride worked out getting up here through the shuttle service. It was $8.50 to get up here from Rice Lake, so I think well worth it. I would like to have gotten out here a little bit on the earlier side, but I think it's about 10:15, so that'll be just fine. My backpack's feeling nice and heavy. 5 days of food, 2 liters of water. At least there's no major uphill climbs or anything. Nice and flat all day should be. Dead mouse on trail. A lot of dead little critters out here for some reason. A beautiful little stream there on the side of the trail. I'm seeing a lot of horse tracks on trail. People have been down here on horseback recently. Well, I thought the mosquitoes might be less of a nuisance today, but I got the DEET on and the head net. Well, that's pretty cool. Amish guy in a buggy just passed me by. Yeah, it sure is pretty out here. Crossing the Brill River. That looks pretty. Looks like a nice calm little place that'll have some fish in it. Very picturesque little area, lots of farms and stuff around. It's a beautiful little stretch. This is the very small town of Brill. I'm not even going to stop into here. I don't think they have much anything. Just going to keep on pressing. Well, it's about noon, time for a lunch break. I'll take a seat up by the road here. Hopefully there's enough of a clearing away from the bugs and mosquitoes and things where I can be undisturbed for a little bit. All done with lunch. We got almost 6 miles left of this trail, I think, before we do a little bit of road walking. It's dried out some, but sometimes the grass here gets just thick enough and it's just a little bit damp enough to get my feet wet. So my shoes and my socks are slightly damped and soaked through. I'm passing a lot of these little pond areas and these depressions. These must all be kettles, which basically is everything was melting suddenly 12,000 years ago. Imagine a huge iceberg got stuck right in this area, got buried over, and then later melted out and created this huge depression and a pond. I've seen at least 4 little ribbon snakes on the trail today so far. They're only about a foot long. They slither away way too fast to get them on film. Well, the trails got close in following Highway 48 there for about 2 miles, and then I think we're into some road walking for a little bit. There's part of Red Cedar Lake down to the south. And Balsam Lake is up to the north of us. We made it to Loch Lomond Road. That is in Scotland, just north of Glasgow. Now we got 2.5 miles of road walking here. I think I feel like I'm due for a sit-down break though, so I may just take a breather for a few minutes. I've been noticing this on a lot of streets out here. The numbered streets are all in like fractions. Something something and a third, something and 7/8, something and a fourth. There's got to be some kind of zoning reason for that. It just seems so nonsensical. Passing over Sucker Creek. Getting back to the woods. Next trailhead, Hemlock Creek segment. Here's Pigeon Creek. Probably my last water source for the day, so I think I'm gonna load up here. Easy access, good looking water. Now that we're safely back in the woods, I think I'm looking at only doing about another 2 to 3 miles or so. I'm looking to see if I can find anywhere to sneak a tent in all this foliage. Places like this where the trail's flat and wide enough, you could always pitch your tent in the middle of the trail. It's not like you're going to be in anyone's way. The old rookery. Nice beaver pond. The tops of these hummocks are just about cleared out enough where I could stick a tent in somewheres. I want to go at least 1 more mile though. I'll have to look at the map and see where an opportune area where it kind of goes up a little hill for a little bit. I'm crossing an ATV road here. Looks like there was a fire here, burned 32,640 acres in 1898. Well, this is about the spot I was aiming for, and it looks like I'm just going to set up in the middle of the trail here. This will be good enough, and I don't think I'll be bothering anybody. But the mosquitoes are in full force, so I'm just going to be hiding in the tent the rest of the evening. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. I did a good push, kept moving fast, getting out of town a little bit on the late side, and we still did like 17 miles, I think. I think this stretch I'm only looking at pushing like 20 to 21 at the most, miles-wise. This is the challenge of this trail is there's nowhere to camp, so you got to kind of make it work as best you can and finding stealth sites. So we'll figure out what tomorrow's going to look like. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the morning. Morning. Slept well last night. I think the only things to report is that as I was checking myself over yesterday, I found a tick on my leg. He was just in the process of trying to bury himself in there, so he was easy enough to remove. But that's always unsettling when you find those guys right on you. And I've got a new sore spot on the bottom of my right foot. I had one on my left foot earlier, a couple of days ago. Got a new one on my right foot this time. I think it's just from walking in wet feet. They get all pruned up and wrinkly. And for some reason, my shoes don't like hiking when I got wet feet. So it's just kind of soring up the bottoms of my feet. I'll have to be careful, dry them out and stop a lot more often, I think. The trail coming up in the next couple of days is about 20 miles through the woods like this, and then a 20-mile section of road walking. So we'll do the 20-mile wooded section today, camp somewhere just prior to the big road walk, and tackle the road walk all in one go for tomorrow is the current plan. This is Bulger's Road. Western terminus is 108 miles back. And that sign says Potawatomi State Park is 980. That must be out on the eastern terminus side. Down by Hemlock Creek, there's lots of water. I've noticed several of these bridges. I didn't film them all, but some yesterday and stuff. They look kind of new, like they were put up earlier this year or something. This is kind of cool. Just came out to the Murphy Flowage picnic area. See some bathroom facilities. I don't think I need to use anything. Bunch of picnic tables and stuff inside there. I guess you could stealth camp it inside there if you kind of set up after dark and leave before sunrise. No one would know you were there. There's some more bear tracks, not too fresh. Coming up on a nice wide road crossing. I think I'm gonna have to take a break here. The next sit-down break road crossing is gonna be like 9.5 miles ahead. So it's gonna be a long, fun push continuously through mosquitoes. I may have missed a sign for it, but we are in a new segment. This is the Northern Blue Hills segment. And I was also double checking on the maps. Looks like 4 miles up, there's like a side trail you can take to get to a parking area. So I think I may do that. Maybe it's a 1/4 mile off trail or so, just to take a break, get away from the mosquitoes, eat some snacks, try to dry my feet out a little bit. That should be 4 miles up. Even though it's clear and sunny, it's still 100% humidity, and nothing ever seems to be drying out. Well, my feet are damp from walking through the grasses and stuff. And I keep running into ponds and swampy areas. I'm trying to stay reasonably dry as much as possible. This one's not bad to avoid. This backcountry track is getting muddier and muddier, and the mosquitoes are getting worse and worse. Well, here's a little dirt road. If the mosquitoes die down on this thing, I'll take my break on this road as opposed to trying to go down a little side trail to a parking lot area. Well, I went ahead and took a sit-down break here for a little bit. I think I'm going to keep moving. 5.5 miles until we hit a road for a small road walk section. And that'll probably be a good place to take a lunch break. Oh, the trail's all flooded out in a beaver pond. And I'm soaking wet again because I got to slosh all through it. This trail's just not going to let me keep my feet dry. What sucks is this combination of shoes or something. I can't hike in wet feet comfortably with these shoes. It gets really painful. I think I'm getting like moderate trench foot or something. I have no idea where the trail is. It's around here somewhere. Lots of beaver ponds today. There's some slightly smaller bear tracks. These ones look fresh. They could be from earlier today. Pretty little stream. there's a decent number of ups and downs today, but the uphills are only like 50 feet in elevation gain. Made it to Devil's Creek. Good place to top up on water, I think. The road and our lunch break is just a little bit further. Well, as I was filtering water, I noticed I've got a small pinprick of a hole in my Catadine Bee-Free water bag. That's the first time I've ever seen a hole in one in all the hiking I've done. I don't know how it got there. It's not a major issue at this point, but at the same time, I'm not in a position to get it replaced with anything. I could use one of my air mattress patch kits to put a patch over it, and that might work. I'll play around with that idea. I made it to the road. I'm tired. I'm definitely due for a break. I think this is also the end of this segment. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be chilling here for a while. I just gotta dry everything out. I'm totally soaked, like sweat through the shirt, the pants, everything. And it's not because the terrain or anything is causing me to sweat. It's just that it's 85 degrees and 100% humidity. It's like you're swimming through a swamp in the air the whole time. A little bit of a breeze here is super nice. No mosquitoes. Hopefully we can get some stuff dried out. We're gonna be here for an hour plus. I got tons of time to kill now. We did good distance push getting here. Walking in wet feet every day, being all pruned up, is causing a lot of soreness right here in the middle of my foot. It hasn't blistered up yet, but it's very sore, tender, it hurts. And of all the walking I've done in other trails, no other pair of shoes has done this to me, so I think it's the shoes more than anything else. Well, I figure it's time to get moving. I sat there for a good while. I'm gonna be in trouble if I got the blister forming on the bottom of my foot. That's not a good place to have one. I'll keep an eye on it for sure. But I got most everything dried out. We got about a little over a mile of road walking, I think, before back in the woods. And we just left the northern Blue Hills segment, and we'll be starting the southern Blue Hills segment. Leaving the paved road, turning off to a dirt road. And while I was walking there, I just had an epiphany. Waterproof socks. I think that would solve a lot of problems with my feet. I used them on the CDT and they worked perfectly. I don't know why I didn't think of them before. I didn't do much research for this trail before heading out here, so I didn't know what to expect, how swampy it might be, etc. But if I order myself some waterproof socks and ship them up ahead, I think that'll do awesome. There's our exit. We had to do a little bit more road walking than I thought. But we are officially in the southern Blue Hills segment. From here, only maybe doing like 5 miles or so at the most. Try to find a stealth site somewhere. Get as close as possible to the long road walk that tomorrow we're gonna have to do. I think this one is Moose Ear Creek. That's a nice little stream. Might just top up here while I got a chance. Well, this is kind of surprising. I didn't know we'd be on another road. Alright. Oh, that didn't last more than like 200 feet. Okay, we're back in the woods. Oh, the trail's all swamped out for the last quarter mile, and it continues. I'm trying not to get my feet soaking wet right at the end of the day. That's North Lake out there. There's a campsite I'm coming up on, but it's by reservation only, which I don't have, so I gotta pass it up, even though there may or may not be anybody staying there. Looks like this will be home for the night. Just right on trail again. Time to get in, hide from the mosquitoes. Well, I think that's about it for today. Managed to stay mostly dry the last mile or so. Feet got a little bit wet. But overall, doing good. I don't think my feet got any worse than what the condition was earlier in the day. We'll kind of see how it goes day by day. Tomorrow's going to be a big road walk though, so we'll see all that. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.